even more severe than mine, wasn't it, Fred?
Yeah, you had the girly man version. Because they took one of my ribs out and had to cut some muscles.
Uh-huh.
They didn't have to do that with you.
Right.
Tell you one thing that the hospital's not wasting.
What?
Pain pills.
Well, no, they're not. But, and my
you've
brother...
been stashing them?
Pardon me?
I know you've been stashing them.
No, right, if they're listening.
They think the British and French are already lined up to sell weapons to Arafat?
Well, they probably are.
They're on the phone this morning, aren't they?
Well, I suppose they are. My proudest moment in the hospital, when they give you Percocet, the instruction for the nurse, they're supposed to stand there and watch while you take them.
Yep.
My proudest moment is being in bed here. The nurse comes in, and at the foot of my bed is Dr. Gaida and Dr. Libby. They're standing at the foot of my bed, and to the left of my bed is the nurses with the 2 Percocets. She gave them to me, and I palmed them both in front of them and pretended to take, and in effect swallowed my gum and got by with it. Because you don't need as many Percocets as they give you, you know. So, along with the prescription that I have, that I'll be filling this morning, I must have, 25 or 30 others lying around. Anyway, my point was that my brother went through all of this, as you know, Charles.
Yeah.
And continues to this day to smoke, don't you?
Once in a while.
Idiot.
Dope.
Hey,
Moron. Stooge.
I'm kind of worried about you.
Why?
Well, because, you know about post-op blues?
Yes?
Well, I think you're going to suffer from that. I just kind of want you to know what to be aware of.
Is your other phones ringing there?
Yeah.
Oh, there's T-shirt orders?
Probably.
Well, don't call Fred
I can't answer it. I got to get off. Anyway, there's a couple things that you got to look for. One thing I worry about you is you might get so depressed and disoriented.
Yeah.
You might try to date a woman that's not undergoing some kind of therapy.
These are.
What happened to the one with the magic rocks when you needed her?
Well, I don't know. I've never been out with a woman who wasn't engaged in
Yeah, I know.
therapy.
You know, I always wait every time. I never ask you if you're going out with anybody anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've learned it's just you talk about it, and then I just wait for the other shoe to drop in a couple months.
So these are post-op blues signals that I should look for, patterns of behavior.
And then you might really get disoriented and depressed.
Yeah.
And try to call Rosenberg and get him back on the show. Or Larry Chance. You could get so disoriented and depressed.
Yeah.
You might call, what was that woman's name? Jane?
Gennaro?
You could get that bad. That's one thing Charles and Bernard got to kind of watch you on.
Okay.
Keep you away from that telephone.
Well, Charles is going to actually, he won't let me check out of the hospital by myself. So he's insisting on coming over here at 10 o'clock this morning.
But, serious note, I admire your dedication.
You do?
It's too bad there's not more people in this country dedicated like you are.
Well,
that's just my serious point for today.
What else would I have to do other than be on? I would point out to everybody that throughout 2 lung collapses and major lung surgery, I have not missed one program.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's dedication. It's unlike Emmett Smith.
Well, part of it, I'll tell you the real reason for that. Part of that had to do, almost all of it had to do with.
$1 million a year, probably.
Well, that had something to do with it. I'll tell you what it had to do with. It had to do with Mel Carbazon and this company. Is a great Infinity Radio. Is a great company.
Amen.
And number 2, Joe Hollander and the people who run this radio station here. And number 3, it had to do with the affiliates. I mean, all of these stations who have signed on to this program now. I mean, it wasn't my fault that my lung went down, but I felt a certain obligation to, and so did everybody on the show. So did Bernie and Liz, so did Lou and Breen and McCord and Larry, Kenny and Rob Bartlett. Everybody felt like, we would still try to do the very best we could under but the best difficult circumstances. So it really wasn't just me. Everybody did a terrific job, and hopefully. I'll just shut up now.
Shut up.
God almighty. All right, what is your tri-state? Are you finished now?
Four-legged Fred.
Pardon me?
Having trouble with four-legged Fred.
Your dog, Fred.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Here, look, see if you understand this. I get this dog the best dog food, and I give him vitamins, and I even give him these little pills every day to prevent heartworm.
Yeah.
And then I buy little treats from him.
Right.
Yesterday, I'm eating a sandwich. I get up and take 3 steps to answer the phone, and he pounces on it. He's on that sandwich faster than Michael Jackson's on a 13-year-old boy.
Well, I don't think we need to get into that, Fred, do you? a nurse in here. What do you want? You want what?
I want you to die.
Well, when I'm going to go?
Pull it out of his chest.
Sometime between now and noon.
Can you make it around 9?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Just flatline him
Someone
right
an
now.
escort? Oh, no, there'll be somebody here. My driver's going to come in.
Yeah, sure.
McCord, you're coming, right?
Yes, I am, I man.
So there'll be people here.
Bringing the hearse.
But Dr. Guida's going to come up and take the stuff off me. What about the Percocet?
You want to tell us
I don't have. No, I didn't get my Percocet prescription. Yeah, I do have it. I'm just kidding.
You can fill your own.
No, I do have it.
Get back the ones you
I have
stole.
it. Yeah. We'll take care of it. We'll take care of it in a few minutes.
Great.
What are you doing now? You want to come back? Or why don't you wait? Can you wait a couple of minutes?
Yeah, come on, baby.
Fred?
Yeah.
What is your tri-state? I'm sorry, I had to talk to the nurse.
Perfectly all right.
What is your tri-state Jeep Eagle Sports lock of the weekend? Oh, the dog ate your sandwich and it doesn't eat the good dog food, yada, yada. What else? What was the point there?
Am I getting the bumps rush?
Well, no, you're not getting the bums rush, but what's your tri-state Jeep Eagle Sports lock of the weekend?
Well, all week I've been leaning towards Chavez.
Yeah?
But 3 o'clock last night I got a vision Whitaker's going to win it by a close decision.
Ooh,
Oh, well, that's just stupid. You dope.
what an idiot.
By the way, 1-800-272-1957 to order my brother's T-shirts. Are the black T-shirts and the
Sweatshirts I'll have next week.
oh, you will?
Yeah.
How much are they?
$31.57 to your door, no hidden cost. That includes shipping handling.
$31.57?
Yeah.
What are they good sweatshirts, Fred? They're Fruit of the Loom, right?
Fruit of the Loom, 90-10.
That does sound good, you know. Sounds like a lot for a sweatshirt, but
No, it's not.
$31.57.
Go to Bloomingdale's. How much you going to pay there? $50.
Well, that's true, yeah. Out at the U.S. Open is $40. Oh, okay, good point.
$40. The comedy special of the week's New England trying to tackle Barry Sanders.
Is that basically about it?
Tampa Bay's going to upset the Giants.
All right.
Oh.
Miami over the Jets.
All right.
Phoenix over Washington.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay,
All right, what else?
that's it.
How about the Browns?
Browns don't play till Monday night.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Who are
looking
they?
for an upset there, I'll tell you that, because the Kozar don't start throwing it at the receiver's feet till about the middle of October. He can complete some passes in that game. He throws it at their feet, and Sims can't take a snap in the middle of October when the weather gets below 50.
Well, of course, they have Testaverde who throws it over their head, right?
Yeah, but Testaverde looked good in preseason.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, this change may have done him good.
Oh. All right, well, I'll talk to you when I get home, I guess.
What was that number again?
1-800-272-1957.
Hey, you know what? I have 3 telephone lines,
Oh, you do?
and I can't answer any of them.
Why?
I'm here by myself.
Well, hang up and answer.
All right.
All right, thanks, Fred.
All right, bye.
Charles?
All right, Imus in the morning sports, in addition to Fred. First of all, the Yankees in Toronto tied for the top position in the American League East as Toronto lost again. Oakland beat them 7-4, and the Yankees were idle. Baltimore's a half game back. Boston 5.5 back. U.S. Open men's quarterfinals, Wally Masur over Magnus Larsson, and 15th seed Cedric Pialone defeated 8th seed Andre Mebeda. And welterweight title fight tonight, Whitaker, Chavez.
You know, Charles,
Yeah.
they're trying to check me out of here and stuff,
Yeah.
and Dr. Guida's going to come in.
Right.
So I'll be on as much as I can between now and 10, but I don't know exactly what the deal will be, so you may have to talk to Bud Collins.
Fine.
Can you handle all that?
Oh,
of course you can.
Certainly.
All right, bro.
Okay. It's now 68 degrees at 23 minutes past 8 o'clock.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, Fred Imus in the morning. Sun up, sundown, driving in and out of town. Legendary, rough and ready, takes the road sure and steady. All I ever wanted was a Jeep. There's only one Jeep, only one Jeep. Old time driving fun, you know you always wanted a Jeep, yeah. Only one Jeep.
This Imus Sports Lock is sponsored by Jeep Eagle Dealers. If you're looking for the exceptional, the choice is the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee. With its state-of-the-art four-wheel drive, it takes you where your curiosity leads, even if the roads don't. Grand Cherokee raises standards to a new level with standard full-time four-wheel anti-lock brakes, only V8 available in its class, and the world's only 4x4 driver's side airbag standard. Now for a limited time, your Jeep and Eagle dealer is offering exceptional savings on Jeep Grand Cherokee in stock with low monthly lease rates. So if you're looking for an exceptional vehicle and exceptional savings, see your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers today. Jeep is a registered trademark of the Chrysler Corporation. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Highways, byways, interstates, freeways, drive into the big red O.
Hey, welcome to Mobile. Can I ask you, do you think your van's engine runs better when it's clean?
Well, I think everything's better when it's clean. But then again, you have to realize I'm a dry cleaner.
Yeah. I see the van here. You the expert on clean, Pete?
Expert, yeah. What do you think, I came to Mobile by chance?
Well, what do you think of new Mobile Super Plus gasoline?
I use new Mobile Super Plus. I use it in the van, in my car at home. And I think Mobile makes a really good gasoline. Okay, if they were my competition in the dry cleaning business, they'd probably be driving me crazy.
New Mobile Super Plus detergent gasoline still cleans fuel injectors and intake valves, and now also helps keep your cylinders and pistons cleaner. And at participating Mobile stations, you'll pay the same price, cash or credit.
Well, thanks for showing up with new Mobile Super Plus.
Thank you. By the way, you have a spot on your tire.
Where?
Made you look. A little dry cleaning humor.
Drive into the Big Red O and drive your engine clean.
Imus! Long Island Savings Bank. We're helping people like you from generation to generation. Bankers, neighbors, and friends.
Back when Long Island was mostly farmland and the Hamptons had hardly been discovered, one bank made a big difference in getting things growing. They did it with 4 simple words. Your mortgage is approved. The bank was Long Island Savings Bank. Since then, Long Island Savings has repeated those simple words over 300,000 times. From Queens to Montauk, we've come to be known as the island's own mortgage bank, your bank, where you can count on getting the right mortgage answers and the right mortgage choices. So if you've got a move in mind, call us at 1-800-LISB. We'd welcome the chance to repeat ourselves one more time to you, an equal housing lender.
Bank in the Long Island way.
Hey, Sports Illustrated says Julio Cesar Chavez is the world's greatest fighter.
Yeah, but Boxing Illustrated likes Pernell Whitaker.
Now we're about to find out who really is the best fighter in the world. The fight. Whitaker versus Chavez, WBC Championship, easily the biggest fight in years. Friday, September 10th. See it. You won't forget it. Live on pay-per-view from the Alamo Dome. Call your cable company.
You'll also see champion Terrible Terry Norris defend his WBC Super Welterweight title against Lightning Joe Getty. And Azuma the Terrible Warrior Nelson will take on Jesse James Leah in a battle for the WBC Super Featherweight crown. A great night of boxing featuring 3 World Championship bouts live on pay-per-view cable TV, Friday, September 10th. Don't miss out. Call your cable company for the fight of the year.
8:27, 27 past 8 o'clock. Imus in the morning. Time for the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol with Eileen Marchese Cohen.
Thanks a lot, Charles. We have lots of troubles. Inbound George Washington Bridge up to 45-minute delays with heavy volume and construction on the ramps to the West Side Highway and 178th Street. Outbound George, lower deck easing and accident cleaned up. Holland and Lincoln into the city, 30-minute delays. And Airborne with a look at the Bronx. Here's Andy.
I think we got you covered coming and going. Eastbound Cross Bronx loaded up into the New England Thruway connector there at Country Club Road. Of one van spin out. Right lane's got to be flared off in westbound bumper to bumper. Bruckner to Rosedale. A stalled vehicle there blocks the center lane. In the Vandy Chopper, I'm Andy O'Rourke.
In New Jersey and Sussex County, avoid Route 94. It's closed northbound at Route 610 with a jackknife tractor trailer. Veterans Highway also closed at Sycamore Ave, and that due to an accident investigation each way. In Connecticut, we have a tractor trailer car accident at the Exit 11 Darien entrance ramp to the southbound Connecticut Turnpike. All mass transit back on or close to schedule except Metro North. 30-minute delays on the New Canaan branch. When excess alcohol threatens your morning after, excess is the medicine to stop headache, upset stomach, and fatigue. So look for the letters X and S and drink responsibly and buy excess at Pathmark. I'm Eileen Marchese Cohen for the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sports.
Now there's that first and second, 2 down here, top of the ninth in a 4-4 tie. Castillo to the belt. Kicks, fires, a swing, and there's a ball. Hit on the line to left field. Runner is being sent. Here's the total to plate. He slides. He is safe. Safe. So the run is in. And it's 5-4 Oakland.
The Blue Jays lose again.
And the Yanks are tied for first. Good morning. This is Mike Breen with sports, and this 2020 Sportscast sponsored by Bex. Tom Cheek with the call on the Fan in Toronto. The Blue Jays have dropped 6 in a row. The latest last night at the Sky Dome, 7-4 to the Oakland A's. Ricky Henderson says it's all part of baseball.
Frustration, you're going to go through a little frustration in the game because it's really not that easy. And anything happened in this game, and that's what's the bad part about it. You can't put your finger on a foot point and figure out what's going on because so much stuff goes on.
Yankees, meanwhile, were off, so they're once again tied for first. Orioles and Red Sox off as well. They both pick up a half game. Baltimore just a half game at a first. Boston 5.5 behind. The Giants' lead in the NL West race is down to 1 game. Giants lost to the Cardinals 9-4 last night, while the Braves were beating the Padres 1-0 in 10 innings. Also, big changes in baseball for 1994, as the owners yesterday voted to divide each league into 3 divisions, which would bring about an extra round of playoffs. The division winners plus a wild card team would make the postseason. The players still have to approve this measure, but that is expected to happen. U.S. Open tennis men's quarterfinal winners Wally Masur and Cedric Pioline. They'll play each other Saturday in one semifinal, Sampras and Alexander Volkov in the other. Women's semis are today. Steffi Graf and 3 others will be in action. Graf, of course, the big favorite. She will play one of the Maleva sisters, that being Manuela Maleva. Arantxa Sanchez-Becario, meanwhile, plays Helena Sukova. And huge boxing match tonight. Welterweight title bout in San Antonio between undefeated Julio Cesar Chavez and Pernell Whitaker. And that's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Baseball players are cool.
Yeah, they get to smack chicks around and get paid for it.
Yeah.
And throw M80s at people.
Yeah. Fire.
I want a job where I can get drunk, smoke in the dugout, and look up chicks' dresses in the stands.
Yeah. And press ham on the windows on the team bus when kids ask for autographs.
But going to practice would suck.
I like that guy Jim Abbott. He's cool.
Yeah, he must have held a lit M80 in his hand.
I bet that hurt.
I once got this kid at camp to hold a lit cherry bomb in his butt.
Did it blow up?
Nah, he got so nervous he hosed his shorts and it put the fuse out.
That sucks.
Yeah.
There is a sound that you can expect to hear above the music. It's the sound of German being spoken by those who bring their passions for life to places like these.
Light.
Bex, the #1 imported German beer in your town, America, and the world.
Light.
Dryback Importers, Greenwich, Connecticut. Importers of Bex, Bex Dark, and Bex Light.
Kmart presents America's master gardener, Jerry Baker.
You know, bears aren't the only ones that hibernate. Your lawn does too. Make sure it's ready for the big sleep with fine K-Grow products at Kmart. Like K-Grow's premium lawn fertilizer and K-Grow's weed and feed in sizes to cover 5,000 or 10,000 square feet. Put down K-Grow this fall and your lawn will wake up strong in the spring. The grass, it's like milk and cookies at bedtime.
Kmart, the quality you need, the low price you want.
I couldn't believe it. I got this thing in the mail that looked like a real bill for my SNET Yellow Pages ad. It even had the Walking Fingers logo on it. But it turned out to be a fake.
A lot of people are receiving invoices for Yellow Pages ads from sources other than SNET, and they're also receiving calls from people claiming to be Yellow Pages representatives. If you receive a bill or a call from anyone who does not specifically mention SNET, they're not affiliated with the one and only SNET Yellow Pages from Southern New England Telephone. If you have any doubt about any such bill or person, call us at 1-800-922-3238 before submitting payment or agreeing to anything. Our SNET Yellow Pages representatives stand ready to provide the help and information you need to make the best business decisions.
These days, you can't be too careful.
Call 1-800-922-3238 today. SNET. We go beyond the call.
Imus! Beware of the person who plays tennis on Planet Reebok. people who play tennis on Planet Reebok, I mean, they don't care much about the gentleman's game. They really don't. They probably talk to themselves loudly and dent illegally parked cars with their serve. To play, all they need is a decent racket and Reebok tennis footwear. Game day, stadium court, or center court. These all-court winners are for the player who refuses to compromise on performance, comfort, style, durability, and traction. Come in today and try on the latest in Reebok tennis footwear and clothing from Planet Reebok, or stop by the Reebok booth at the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. Reebok is available at Arnie's Sneaker Corner in Brooklyn, Broadway Sneakers, Manhattan, LeConte Fashions, Union City, New Jersey, G&S Sporting Goods, Manhattan, Giblings Footwear in Ramsey, New Jersey.
Joe Green, dentist, Riverdale. Trying to find something in TV Guide is like pulling teeth compared to New York View. It's big, color-coded, and free every Sunday in the Daily News.
What's happening on TV? Get it all, yeah, get it free. Color to that New York View. Oh, TV Guide is just for you. Get the best TV. Get it this Sunday in the Daily News.
Julie Santano, dietitian, Fort Washington. There is nothing I like better on a Sunday morning than whipping up a hot breakfast and reading the features in my free New York View TV book in the Daily News.
Helen Sir, personal shopper Flushing. Unlike that black and white midget guide, New York View is big, color-coded, and the best of all, it's free every Sunday in the Daily News.
TV Guide is just for you. For free in New York View. TV, get it this Sunday in the Daily News. It's the best TV you can get.
Now, the world through a Dick's eye, that of Dick Nixon, political analyst and frequent contributor to the Imus in the Morning Show. Here now, commentary and observations on some of the principal issues of the day. Issue 1. The host of this program, Mr. Imus himself. Talk about your profiles in courage. An inspiring story. Lung collapse, major surgical repair, and through it all, stoically refusing to surrender to affliction. But now causing concern among those who have such a great affection for him in this folly of rushing back to the studio. Well, if I may direct these comments to you, Dono, don't push it. Take a few days off to get your strength back. You need a holiday, as the rest of your staff enjoyed. I'm thinking, Florida maybe. Miami, sure. Jump down there, book a car out of Alamo at the airport, stick a SeaWorld brochure in your shirt pocket, put on a pair of mouse ears, and take her down the freeway singing, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. You know. Just kidding, Dono. Just kidding. Don't get your shorts in a knot. I don't know what's going on down there, but remember when their tour slogan was, come on down? Well, now it's, cover me, Inga. I'm making a break for Daytona. Anyway, I'm glad you're feeling better, Donnie. Issue 2, the late-night TV wars. Have you seen the Chevy Chase show? Is he, okay? Because I'm watching him, and all I could think about was poor old Dan Quayle when he sputtered out that wasting mind is a terrible brain to have fall out of your head, or whatever the hell it was he said in that infamous screw-up, remember? I mean, Chevy Chase is probably a nice enough guy, but Jesus. Maybe when he's doing all those satires of Jerry Ford without a helmet, he should have worn a helmet a time or two himself, huh? If he's lucky, the moron's next late-night show will be an infomercial for Color Match Auto Wax. You know, Fox would have had a better prospect giving the show to Al Gore, judging from his performance on Letterman the other night. Although Letterman's so good, he could get shtick out of Hervé Villechaize. Now, believe me, with Letterman there, this war is going to be over faster than Operation Desert Storm. All right, what else? Issue 4. Jocelyn Elders, Surgeon General. Did you see her in her official photo Navy uniform? She looks like she ought to be blowing a whistle at handsome cabs outside the plaza. Hey, Doc, look at the food group label once in a while, huh? Hello, I'm Surgeon General Jocelyn Elders. You gonna eat all that? Issue 5. Virgin Mary, wherefore art thou? Or guess who's not coming to dinner? The Trenton, New Jersey Catholic Diocese declaring the fellow who's been seeing the Virgin Mary once a month in his backyard was not experiencing a miracle. I have a copy of their formal conclusion right here. It's very brief, so let me just read it to you. He's a f***ing nut. Okay, final matter. Your new Cleveland, Ohio affiliate, 3WE, you know, the station that dumps out of the first 15 minutes of every hour of your program? The 3 W's don't exactly stand for we want to win, do they? Because the way they're going, they're about one more savvy programming decision away from being a bathhouse. And that's the world through this Dick's eye. Richard Nixon, former president of the United States. Thank you.
8:39, 21 minutes until 9 o'clock, Imus in the morning. And joining us on the telephone now from the Boston Globe, from NBC's tennis analysis desk, Bud Collins.
Joe, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm subbing for the I-Man, as maybe Bernie explained.
I heard that. They said he was in the John or something.
No, he very well could be. But actually, he's being released from the hospital.
How can any institution release him?
I don't know, but I guess this one perhaps can. Now, if it were Creedmoor, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good news.
Yeah, it is good news. He'll be going home, and he'll be back with us in the studio next week.
Are you coming out to the tennis, Charles?
You know, Bud, this is one of the first years. Connie and I were just discussing this the other night, that we were unable to get out there this year. But this was a good year, I guess, to skip. I mean,
well, I don't know. You know, everybody's been knocking it, but it's been fun having all these unknowns show up, and it hasn't been the usual chalk and the usual top cats, fat cats.
Well, who's left, whose name I even have a prayer of being able to pronounce?
Well, I'll try to spell a few names for you, but this Cedric Pioline is a very good player. He was tough last night against Medvedev, and he's just having a great time. Wally Masur, nobody had heard of an Australian for years. They're sort of like a lost tribe, the Etruscans of tennis. And here he is at 30 years of age, and all these kids look at him in the locker room. They don't know whether to send him Father's Day cards or what.
Is anybody showing up out there to watch this?
Oh, sure.
The scalpers...
It's sold out. It's sold out.
Okay.
And of course, the New York City Council a couple of days ago fell for that old shakedown line, give us a new stadium or we'll leave. Right. And, the U.S. Open would never leave New York.
Are the players enthusiastic about that, by the way, the pending expansion of the tennis
facility?
The
players are not excited about anything. Here's a kid, you see, they're going to build this pleasure dome to honor the USTA officers who are throwing away all this money when it should be spent on youth tennis. It'll be well over $200 million by the time they really sit down to do it. And this is a terrible shame. I can't blame Dinkins. He wants construction jobs. That's okay. But the players, we listened to this young Medvedev last night. He complained about everything, and he's a good kid. Nothing's right. The food's wrong. The place is wrong. He's going to take about $100,000 out of here. And I looked at the New York Times yesterday, and he comes from Kiev, and Kiev is falling apart.
Absolutely.
And so there's nothing that's going to satisfy the players. Nothing satisfies professional athletes. And I don't see, this place is a dump. It was originally a dump. If you read The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald described it as a dump before the tennis was built. But it's our dump. It's distinctive, and it works for 2 weeks. It is broken. It needs some fixing. But for 2 weeks, it's fine. I have not yet seen a player who turned back the prize money saying this is a terrible place to work, I won't take this money. I've yet to meet a ticket holder who has turned back a ticket, and everybody will be there, and it's still a tough ticket.
I'm refusing my check in protest of the conditions.
I can't work under these conditions. He was complaining about the lounge. I mean, back in Kiev, they don't have a roof over the place, you know.
When a guy like Curry or somebody of that stature loses out there, does Curry do they hang around?
No.
They're out there.
No, they're off to the next place.
Yeah.
And it isn't that bad. It's when you look at people hanging around on the streets with their hands out, I can't feel too much for these players.
Hey, by the way, we did get your book. The Encyclopedia of Tennis.
I hope you didn't pick it up. You might get a hernia.
Honest to God, now I was going to say, I picked it up yesterday, and I was defeated by it. I didn't have a lot of time to get into it.
No, you have to read it. You have to lie on the floor to read it and turn the pages.
What kind of stuff? Just everything?
It's the history of the game. There's everything. It's called the Bud Collins Modern Encyclopedia of Tennis, and it starts in 1873 when the game was patented, and it goes along. I had some wonderful researchers, Frank Phelps in Philadelphia, who discovered, here's one thing, the woman named Molla Mallory, who nobody remembers, but she won 8 U.S. championships. She won her last in 1926, and she was listed as 34. She lied big time about her age. We found her passport application. She was 42. So I wrote Martina Navratilova a note and said, "You're just a kid. Come on.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere." And she won't go anywhere. She had a fine tournament despite being upset, and she's still number 3 in the world.
Speaking of that, the women's singles semifinals today, what do we got there?
Well, you've got Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, I think, who will beat Helena Sukova, and then you've got Steffi Graf, who's the big favorite, against one of the Malavas. There's so many of them, I never know which one it is. But it's Manuel Malava, Frenier.
Frenier, yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll probably have a final between Graf and Sanchez Vicario. And I think Sanchez Vicario could win.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I think it'll be competitive.
Okay, who's in the final on the men's side?
I think it's Sampras and Piolín, and I think the Frenchman will bother him, although Pete should win.
Now that your initial pick, Mr. Chang, is gone.
He's gone.
All right, but now finally, you're not going to do anything weird. Paint your toenails or something like that, are you?
I'm going to sign books out in Forest Hills today at Barnes & Noble this morning on Continental Avenue, but I don't know how weird that'll be because I can barely spell my name.
All right, bud. Listen, thank you very much. As always, call back next week.
We'll talk to you Monday when I expect the I-Man will be there.
Exactly. The I-Man will be here.
Dr. Guida must be relieved.
Oh, the entire hospital is relieved. Are you kidding me? As always, our best to Anita.
Oh, thank you, Charles.
All right, Bud. 8:45, Bud Collins from the Boston Globe.
I get by with a little help.
Much less in some parts. Oil heat is less expensive than gas in practically all of the Northeast. And it's hard to beat today's oil heat equipment for efficiency. So you're gonna come out ahead with oil heat.
Let's see if I have this straight. I have to pay a few $1,000 to convert to gas heat. And on top of that, they expect me to pay more for gas than oil? Who thought this deal up for the gas company? Mo, Larry, and Curly?
It'll cost you a few thousand to convert to gas for the privilege of paying more each month than you would for oil. Who needs that privilege?
Know what I like about oil heat? Well, the two S's, service and safety, which lets me add one more S, smart.
When you know the facts, you'll agree. Today's oil heat, it's just better. Brought to you by the Metropolitan Energy Council.
Yogurt, a very healthy habit for life.
In a world that moves as fast as ours, do you ever wonder how to keep it all in balance? Our kids, our job, our days, our diet? Well, one way is with foods like Dannon yogurt. It's nutrient dense, which means in a very few calories, we get a lot of nutrition.
Got that real great taste, makes a healthy habit.
In fact, having a cup of Dannon every day is a delicious way to put back what the world takes out of us. Calcium, potassium, and real yogurt cultures. With Dannon, you've got a delicious world of flavors and varieties.
Dannon yogurt, a very healthy habit for life.
What, Topsy? You've opened another Tops Mega Warehouse and Showroom in Westbury, Long Island on Old Country Road.
Forget about it. Why should Long Islanders have to overpay for electronics and appliances?
Topsy, how low are your prices?
Forget about it. If I can't beat your best deal, I'll whip out $100 cash on the spot.
I've shopped at your cockamamie competition, and after I get their best price, they try to whack me with hidden charges and add-ons.
Forget about it. That's a cheap con. At Tops, you always get free delivery, free removal of your old appliance, and I'll even remove the carton and packing off for zip.
Topsy, how big is your, selection?
Hey, forget about it. I got every make and model. If it's made, I got it on display live for you to touch, feel, and compare.
Get to Tops in Secaucus, Edison, East Hanover, and Lakewood, New Jersey, in Hawthorne, New York, and now in Westbury, Long Island, a quarter-mile west of the Wantagh Parkway on Old Country Road.
Forget about it. You gotta be happy at Tops. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Imus! Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where the paint department is?
Hey, I don't know. Never been out that far. This forklift only holds half a tank of gas, you know.
My gosh, what are they searching for?
The store manager. He's lost in plumbing.
Isn't that a bit unusual?
I'll say. He usually gets lost in hardware.
Hardware? How big is this store?
Attention shoppers, the bus for housewares is now boarding in aisle 209.
Has shopping for a project become a project? Then come to Rickle. We do it better. We design every store so that great products and great prices are always easy to find, including high-quality Angelo products. This week, a 12-inch square Angelo white ceramic ceiling fixture is just $5.97, and a clear glass acorn ceiling fixture with a polished brass finish is only $7.87. So shop Rickle. After all, why do it bigger? When you can do it better.
9:49, 11 minutes till 9 o'clock. Imus in the morning. The 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol again. And here's Eileen Marchese Cohen.
Thanks a lot, Charles. In Brooklyn, trouble continues. The northbound BQE jam Flushing Avenue to Metropolitan Avenue. A two-car hit right lane. Southbound, a slow go. Williamsburg Bridge to Tillery Street. In the Bronx, avoid the northbound New England Thruway. Still a one-van spin-out is being cleared at Country Club Road, right where that earlier overturned tractor trailer was. So delays have not recovered a bit there. Westbound Cross Bronx jammed into Rosedale Avenue. A stall cleared, and the southbound Bronx River Parkway is heavy with the center and left lanes closed at East Tremont Avenue. A one-car accident there. Avoid the inbound George Washington Bridge due to construction and rough road conditions under the apartment. Still a solid 45-minute delay. The Lincoln feeling the crunch, 45 minutes there as well. The Holland, your best bet with a 15 to 20-minute wait. Long Island Railroad has 10-minute system-wide delays, and in Westchester on the Sawmill Parkway, accident both ways at Croton Avenue. This report also sponsored by Republic Air Travel. New York to Dallas, $79. To L.A. from $149. To Denver from $139. Call Republic Air Travel at 1-800-233-0025. I'm Eileen Marchese Cohen for the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning. 2020 Sports.
2-1 pitch. There's a drive, deep left center field. I don't know if the park will hold that. It is gone. Number 32 for Gant. It's been a while, but he couldn't have picked a better spot, and listen to this crowd.
Braves win. Giants lose. The lead in the West is now won.
It's a what?
Giants lose. As we talk about drugs here on the Imus in the Morning program, this is Mike Breen with sports. Giants lose 9-4 to the Cardinals. Skip Carey with the call on WGST. And the Braves win a 1-0 blanking of the Padres. So again, San Francisco's lead in the NL West just one game. Other pennant race results, Blue Jays dropped their 6th in a row, 7-4 to the Oakland A's. So the Yanks tied for first again. Orioles just a half game back. U.S. Open tennis, Wally Masur and Cedric Pioline both win in quarterfinal matches last night. Will play in the semis on Saturday. Women's semifinals today, Steffi Graf versus Manuela Maleva. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario against Elena Sukova. And that's sports. I'm Mike Breen.
Scotzo here with you, live from Planet Hollywood on the station where rock lives, WNEW-FM. Of course, the big news, the I-Man returning live to the airwaves, a blessing from the gods, giving us a break from that magic known as the best of Imus. Man, talk about dredging up stuff from the bottom. I mean, when you start regurgitating Carvel bits from the early 80s, there was a Geraldo Santana banana left over from NBC. Jesus, I even heard a poem from Mr. T. I tell you, I think I have an idea just what put old Hervé Villachez over the edge. He'd been listening to the best of Imus for the past 5 weeks. That's a shame, huh? Tattoo pulls his own plug. Why? Because he could only get small roles? Well, what do you want? You're a f***ing midget. Lighten up. At least you're guaranteed a few weeks' work every Christmas. But unless somebody puts together an old dwarf production of Death of a Salesman, you're going to have to settle for riding shotgun in a pointy hat with Snow White in the Macy's parade. Apparently, the details are sketchy as to what exactly happened, but my money is on the scenario where Hervé writes his suicide note on one of those stick-up Post-it deals and then throws himself off a stoop. I tell you who should consider offing himself, Chevy Chase. Man, he's Chevy Chase, you're not, and aren't you relieved? Guess there'll be another Percodan addiction in his future, huh? Oh, boy, you couldn't get much lamer than that. Unless, of course, you turned on Leno or Arsenio. What's the deal with Jay's chin, huh? He turns sideways and his mouth just disappears completely. Which is just as well, because nothing funny's coming out of it anyway. You know that stuff he does between the nightly monologue and the first guest is so lame, it would make even Steve Allen cringe. Watching him gives me the same feeling I used to get as a teenager when my father used to try and talk hip and be funny in front of my friends. But at least he's easier to take than Arsenio, a guy who'd make an insurance salesman look sincere. And that hip-hop street vernacular of his comes across as naturally as it would coming from a middle-aged white guy. Woo, woo, woo. Shanice is in the house. Yeah, well, it's just too bad nobody's home upstairs. I've never seen anything more impossibly stupid as the time he interviewed Brooke Shields and asked her, what does Brooke Shields do for fun? Ooh, look out, Ted Koppel. What do you think she does for fun, bullethead? Logarithms? You know, instead of spending all your money on a wardrobe that makes you look like the fry cook at a McDonald's on Pluto, why don't you just spring for a new set of teeth? Because the ones you have now are pretty worn down from all those years of kissing Eddie Murphy's ass. But you ask me, the late-night wars are nothing compared to the latest revelation. Julia Roberts married Lyle Lovett because he reminds her of Abraham Lincoln. What does he do? Come to bed with a stovepipe hat over his boner? Walk around the house and give the maids the day off? Guess there's hope for the I-Man after all. All we need now is to find a chick whose role model is Abraham from the Bible.
Imus in the morning. You know, if life were perfect, laundry would do itself. Yeah, and garbage would take itself out. If it were really perfect, studio apartments would be bigger than shoe boxes. Hey, an M still light, please? Oh, no. You know what would make life perfect? Yeah, when you ask for water, no one would say, what kind? Yeah. How about a paycheck that didn't look like an allowance? And a 9-to-5 job that actually starts at 9 and ends at 5. Yeah.
4 Amstel lights, please.
Guys, if life were really perfect, cooks would admit that blackened anything usually means it's burnt. Well, at least there's Amstel Light. It's only 95 calories. But it still has a rich imported flavor. Everything's there. Nothing's missing. It's a great beer. You know, if life were perfect, my wife would still be my wife, but her mother wouldn't be my mother-in-law. And passport photos wouldn't look like mugshots.
Amstel Light, America's #1 imported light beer. Who says nothing's perfect? Imported by Van Munching and Company, New York, New York.
If life were really perfect, there'd be no commercials.
Attention George Washington Bridge motorists. Starting 8 p.m. Wednesday, September 8th until 6 a.m. on Monday morning, September 13th, there will be continuous lane closures of the New York-bound upper level and its exit ramps, with at least one upper-level bridge lane closed at all times. If you access the Henry Hudson Parkway, Riverside Drive, 178th, or local streets from the upper level, expect delays in excess of 60 minutes Thursday and Friday morning and evening rush hours. Use the lower level to access these roadways. Also on Friday and Saturday evenings from 10 p.m. until 9 a.m., several New York-bound upper-level bridge lanes and upper-level access to the Cross Bronx and Major Deegan expressways and the Harlem River Drive will be closed. New York-bound motorists should expect major delays approaching the George Washington Bridge Thursday and Friday morning and evening rush hours and throughout Saturday and Sunday. Please listen to traffic reports, consider alternate routes, mass transit, or carpools. For weekly construction schedules, call 1-800-221-9903. The Port Authority thanks you for your patience and cooperation.
Okay, stop what you're doing. If you're thinking about buying a new car and you got sticker shock, or you may be thinking about a used automobile, listen to this. Imagine a used car that comes with a 100% no questions asked, money-back guarantee, no fine print. At EMCO, the area's largest retailer of new and used vehicles, it's part of their pledge of customer satisfaction. At every EMCO location, you'll find the EMCO security blanket. Every EMCO used vehicle gets a comprehensive 66-point inspection done by an independent team of qualified inspectors. Any problems found and fixed. Each vehicle reconditioned and certified by EMCO's professionally trained technicians, ensuring only the finest quality. Every fully certified vehicle comes with a 6-month, 6,000-mile limited warranty included in the price, no additional cost. If that's not enough, there's a 15-day, 1,000-mile unconditional money-back guarantee. If it's not there, you're not covered. You'll find over 1,000 EMCO security blanket certified used cars only at EMCO dealers throughout the tri-state area. For the location nearest you, call 1-800-809-AUTO. 1-800-809-AUTO. Look for the EMCO security blanket seal on the next used vehicle you buy. If it's not there, you're not covered. A decision on whether or not to conduct a federal civil rights investigation of the Crown Heights affair was supposed to be announced yesterday by Attorney General Reno. New York Newsday gives the inside story about what's behind Reno's delay of decision, what it means, and the history behind the entire Crown Heights affair. As expected, schools didn't open here yesterday. New York Newsday reports on what kids did, as well as advice from other kids on how to spend these schoolless days. In the exclusive School Delay Extra edition of the student briefing page, there's more news quizzes and an activity guide. In sports, New York Newsday provides continued coverage of all the excitement from courtside of the U.S. Open, as well as an update on the Bennett races. Summer's over, you're back in the city. What to do? Every Friday, New York Newsday's weekend section gives you everything you need to know about movies and plays and concerts and goings-on all around the city to keep you busy. So, pick up New York Newsday today, where you'll find truth, justice, and the Pulitzers to prove it. It is 8:59, coming up on 9 o'clock, Imus in the morning. And the weather briefly, maybe an early morning shower, and then a chance of showers later as well. It's 68 degrees right now. 9 o'clock, Imus in the morning, WFAN New York. Time for Imus in the morning news. Among the top stories we're watching locally, Mayor Dinkins, Roy Innes, and Eric Ruano Melendez. The Democratic candidate